All right. Hey there, fans of Survivor Super Fun Time Show. This is Kevin from the Super Fun Time Show. And today I have an awesome guest here to talk about Survivor 50, Episode 5. And this is Sue Smey from Survivor 47.
Wait, it's Sue Smey.
Sue Smey. I've been calling you Smey this whole time, like from
Smey, yes.
Sue Smey from Survivor
like
47.
May, but with an S in front of it.
Oh, you know what? I'm actually really glad you corrected me on this because I hate when I get names wrong. So I've been calling.
Like it's so weird too. Honest, somebody else said it the other day, and I'm like, no, it's Smey, but like it's just a weird name. But because I grew up with it, like it's easy to say, you know. So
absolutely, yeah. I mean, who's the biggest authority on your name other than you, right? Nobody.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But regardless, you know what? Smey is the correct one. I'm so happy to have Sue Smey here today because she's been a friend of the pod for a year or two, ever since her season, basically.
Absolutely.
We did a prior recap. It's really fun time. Said, listen, we got to come back and have a super fun time. So Sue, thanks for being here today. Of course.
Thank you. I love every time I get your message, that you'd like me to join you. I'm always absolutely 100% excited to join you. So this is always fun for me.
Absolutely. It's because I always appreciate your perspective on these things. I mean, you're a badass. You went to the finals. I mean, I think we can get the best kind of grapple on what's going on the current season by talking to, someone like yourself who went so deep and played with such great players, including yourself, in a previous season that was not too long ago. So I'm always so grateful that you're here.
You. Well, thank you.
Well, the good news is there's a lot to talk about in season 50 and being in episode 5. You would think it'd be still a little early stages, but it looks like Merge is going to be next week. And
I know. So exciting.
I know. Well, first off, I guess Merge is 17 players.
That's a lot. That's a lot. There's got to be something up with that. I'm wondering if they're still going to like break tribes or like divide them or do something, because that's like during whatever, obviously they have to do something, but like, I'm just curious to see what's going to happen here, because again, this is in the hands of the fans, right? We don't know what's coming.
No, we don't. We don't know what game mechanic is coming when apparently merging at 17. We don't know what next cringe thing Jeff Probst is going to do to steal the camera. Every time.
I don't know. He's on a roll. What do you think it could be? Breakdancing, maybe?
I think he's going to do a fire baton show next.
Okay, or fire dance. Yeah, that'd be cool. But I do think he likes his accents, and he likes. I think it's going to be something more. I think he's going to. We'll have to figure. Maybe he's going to yodel or something, because I think he loves.
You say yodel?
Because I know he likes his accents, and he's and he. We'll see.
Did he do any accents on 47 that we just didn't see?
He did. At the auction, he came out speaking like he was in Romeo and Juliet time.
Oh, it was the Victorian English.
Yes.
Man, I forgot it was the 47 auction. He was like, yes, it has some delicates from blah, blah, blah.
Exactly. And we were all like just staring. We just like, nobody even, you're exhausted. You're dying for food. And you have Jeff like putting on a play.
It's like, yeah, great, Jeff. All right, give me the potato chips, dude.
Exactly. Give me the fries with the idol in it.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Man, because I would actually... Normally right after episode when he does this kind of stuff, I get a little annoyed about it, which is I hate doing it because I created this channel in the hopes that I, basically be less of kind of like a miserable SOB like a lot of Survivor fans have been during the new era. But the problem is every time he does these like hosting antics, it's like the forefront of my mind. But I will say this one, I actually didn't get too upset about it because even though it was cringe, his Colby was actually pretty good.
Wait, how good was his Christian?
His Christian was good, but it got to a point where I was like, is he picking on Christian? Like, I know he wasn't, but it was like, all right.
Yeah, I think but he nailed, he really nailed them.
Well, he knows the mannerisms of all three. No question. So I can respect a little bit of talent like that. Yeah. But normally like the rapping, I sucked. Forget it. Because I love Jeff Probst, the host Jeff Probst. I am not as in love with as I used to be.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah. So you just never know what's gonna happen. The merge, of course, coming up. Like you said, I think they're probably gonna do at least a double or triple tribal council, and it's about time, right? I think there's 17 people and like.
That's a lot of people. All I'll have to say is, we did it at what 11.
Yeah.
And I remember they came to, Tuku, and I'm thinking, how are they going to fit? We still feel like tight together. How are we going to fit? I have a total of 11 people living here, so I can't imagine 17. I can't even imagine what that's like.
Oh yeah. I mean, 17, like, because I guess it depends what beach they're going to go to, huh? Because like each beach is one of the beaches is really small, right?
Yes. But even so, like we didn't think that Tuku, our beach was the biggest, and it's the one that's like the main one that everybody ends up going to. So
Uh,
there's just, the shelter's only built for so many people. Then
yeah.
you've got the ground, but then if it rains, you only have the tarp if they got the tarp, for certain
Hmm.
areas. And this
Hmm.
is a disaster. Just 17 people in one place is insane. I can't even imagine. They got to do something. I just don't see this. I don't know. It's gonna be very interesting.
Well, you know what they need to do? They need to vote a ton of people out in a short amount of time.
So you think they're going to do that next? Do you think they're going to do like a triple, or do you have four teams? And
I surely do. I mean, 17, I don't know how that's going to go because there's an odd number. But I mean, yeah, I think they need to. I can't believe that we haven't had double travel councils like almost the whole way.
right,
So it's been a little surprising for me personally. I'm
yeah.
excited. I'm glad we're at the merge portion, the individual, because there've been some games that have been stunted by not having to go to travel council so far. Like
And you
I
know what? Go ahead. I'm
no
sorry.
no 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 no
Oh,
absolutely
you
they've
know
been
what? I
stunted. But
think
what do you
it's
think?
having one tribe constantly losing. We aren't even getting to know anybody else or see anybody else. Like we're not really seeing a lot of everybody because we're always with the one tribe that's losing and all the drama that's there.
Completely correct. I mean, I think that's what happens a lot of times. I'm going to say the new era seasons, but I mean that's historically that's really kind of what's happened for the most
Yeah.
part. But yeah, I think you're right about that. I mean, there's a bunch of players, particularly I guess the original Kalo tribe, but Genevieve's never had to do. Has it gone to a tribal council? We don't really need to know what she's done yet. We don't know where she stands fully.
Yeah.
Aubrey, geez, who else? Coach.
Right.
Like they haven't had to do the most important thing, which is,
Yeah.
everything's talk about alliances and loyalty. But the only thing matters, to quote the great Sandra Diaz Twine, it's like when the votes come out of the urn, that's what matters.
That's right. It's so
That's right.
true. It's
You
so
don't
true.
you don't know who the people are on your side until the votes come
No,
out.
and you really, and who said it today to the this week? It's made up of the best liars or something like the survivors made up of the best liars, and it's
Mhm.
so I think Riz God said that, right? And it was just
Uh-huh.
like it's so true. Like, but again, we're not seeing any gameplay other than one tribe, so it's time for them to get some action going, even though it's really been great. I'm really been happy with this season.
Oh, me too. And you know what? Speaking of, kind of the edit, a big hot topic that kind of came out of this whole thing. I mean, obviously, Angelina was one of the people that was voted out this episode. Double tribal, Angelina went, and also Charlie, which we'll get into the Charlie later. But a big thing with Angelina in her exit right now has been, a big discussion on how women are being represented in season 50 so far in the edits. Now, kind of your thoughts watching this is kind of where do you fall on that kind of overarching statement?
I didn't really notice it until I did hear her say it. But I was thinking, I really Dee's one of my, like, Genevieve is my girl. But then Dee is someone that I'm so impressed with. I've seen her, on Survivor, on the challenge. Like, she's badass, and like I feel like I haven't gotten a lot of her. Even Suri, like a lot of the females, she's correct. Where I feel I'm not seeing a lot of the women, and it is a lot of the men in the edits. But again, most of the edits are sticking to the tribe that's losing. So I can't really tell. I wonder if it's men or females that are doing the edits there, and I guess that could give us an answer too. I don't. What do you think?
I mean, I think you brought up a good point about like for me, because I've chewed over this a good bit, and I've had a lot of fun discussions on Twitter about it. I think for the most part, a lot of the restrictions on the edit I think have been because a lot of these players just haven't gone to tribal council, and that's
Yes.
been a killer. Like the females that have been shown quite a bit are pretty much the ones that have. So like we've seen a lot of Emily Flippin because Emily Flippin's been involved in a lot of votes. You know, I don't think
But Angelina, like she's
Mhm.
been on these tribes, but she's not bringing out a game, in my opinion. Emily, you compare Emily and her, there, it's like here, you know, like there's a big
Absolutely.
difference.
I
Big
think
difference.
with you know, Angelina, she's the one who's being really vocal, and I think you know, a lot of castaways on season 50, a lot of female castaways in particular, like Tiffany and Camilla and Dee, they've and Jenna Lewis even they've you know they come out in like support of her statement saying like yeah they need to change this. They're not editing for the new era to be equitable. I agree, but like at the same time, when Angelina specifically, my thought is I don't think she was under edited. I think she was edited exactly as she should have been,
True.
and you
True.
know, I think that's probably a little hot takey for a lot of people because Angelina's got a strong fan base, always
Yes.
has.
Right. Right.
I think she's fine. You know, that's about it. Like beside that, like she wasn't one of my picks for season 50, even though I thought maybe she would be on.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
putting that to the side, I try to put myself in like the shoes of an editor, particularly with Angelina, since she's the one who got the boot this episode. What story was she bringing into season 50 that I, as an editor, want to make sure that we follow up on and is going to be fun to talk about in season 50? I can't really think of one. I don't think she has
No.
one. I mean,
No.
other than losing in the finals,
Right.
but I mean, a lot of people have that story.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like,
But
so
there's no gameplay. I mean, have you seen any gameplay? She seems to be going along with the crowd, riding Mike White's coattails, and then doing whatever whatever they say. This is what we're going to do. Or even she said, I think she was excited that she thought she was the swing vote, right? Didn't she?
yes,
But like, she was just blindsided,
exactly.
like. But there was nothing. There's no gameplay. Like Emily is playing, right? I mean, Emily's in the mix with the male edits. You have,
100%.
coach and giving names and Japanese warrior names or whatever. So they're showing a lot of those edits. They're showing, like they are showing a lot of the guys, Rizzo and Charlie in those issues. But it is a little bit correct. And if you think about it and dissect it, that there is maybe the guys are just more interesting. I don't know. Maybe the girls really aren't doing anything. I'm not sure. But I agree with you that Angelina, I don't think has done anything special that would make them want to be like, ooh, keep the camera on her and let's roll.
Well, that's really the key. I mean, I don't think there's anything been there. And, people who are kind of supportive of her would say, well, you don't know that because it's been edited out. And it's like, and I agree with you. That's a fair argument. But at the same time, like, you also can't tell me she did do anything. Like,
if she did something, we would have seen it, right? If she did something, we would have known.
Like I basically said she's inconsequential to the story of season 50.
Yeah.
And she's an early boot. It seems like she never had any power in a tribe. She never went to a journey. She never got an advantage. She never got an idol or anything. So what would be the story based on what we know? So Angelina specifically, I think, yes, I'm glad she's using her voice to advocate for other females that are going on in the game, because there's probably a few for sure that are getting under edited. But Angelina specifically, I'm like, no, she got edited exactly as she should have been.
Yeah.
Now question, because like my question for you, kind of moving on from there, is one of the things that people have kind of been talking about in Counter, and Angelina herself, is the under edit. They're like, well, Tiffany's got 2 confessionals, but then Zach Brown had like 4. So my question for you is, what did you think of the Zach Brown situation last episode?
To be honest with you, I fast forwarded through it. That's what I thought of it. I thought it was so unnecessary. I thought it was really cool, that they did something like that. They brought him out on the island. I feel like they were fulfilling one of his lifelong dreams to be on Survivor and be a part of, Survivor. And obviously they want his fan base, but it was way too long, and again, I'd rather be watching some drama going on, some, things happening with the cast members than that whole scenario. That was a wait. What about you? Did you?
I completely agree with you on that. By the way, I completely agree. I thought the Zach Brown thing was stupid. Like you're right. It seemed like it was a reward for Zach Brown more than
100%. It was, and I mean, they made his day, but they made it 20 minutes too long.
100%. And and like I even like Zach Brown. I'd like to say that real quick. I actually like him. Knee deep. knee deep chicken fried. You know, oh, I don't know. I can't think of him on
Yeah.
the spot,
I
but
don't I don't listen to country, so I don't know who he is even.
so you
It was
don't.
even harder. Like I wish I did know a little bit about him, but so it's even harder, you know. I
Mm,
just was so surprised that they just kept it going and kept it going, and he even got his little solo of his, scuba diving and or diving and getting the fish, which was beautiful. How they edited that was beautiful. But are we on Survivor playing a badass, brutal game, or are we watching, the Nature Channel?
exactly. And you know what? Did you see that? Like, there's the like mini controversy about that. They like how he speared the fish, and they're
Someone said
like,
it was attached to something, or
yeah, they said like basically it was like, do you see this line? It was anchored.
that's horrible.
Yeah,
That's horrible.
it's pretty horrible. Also, it's just crappy because I'm like, all right, well, what's the point of showing me spearing or showing him spearing the fish if he really didn't spear like he really didn't
Yeah,
spear the fish.
yeah, that's so bad.
You
Yeah,
know,
that was a big. I think that was a. I guess I don't know. Is there anybody that likes it other than him and his family? Do people
no,
like it? Okay,
no, everyone hates it, Sue.
okay,
Everyone's against it.
okay.
I mean, Probst is probably super into it, but I mean, they tried to sell that D was a huge fan and was distraught about it, which I don't believe for a second.
Oh, you
I
don't? See, I can't. You really think that? You think she was like faking it?
No, I don't think she was faking it. I think it was like I think objectively, and obviously you could be in those shoes because you were. Objectively, really fun reward. You get
Yeah,
a concert from like a,
yeah,
a singer, like that's actually
right.
good. Like that's cool.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah.
How is it to not hear music for like 11 days without other than some random person singing it?
Yeah, and they got food. I mean, they cooked. They got real delicious, fresh food too. Like and beer. I think they're. I mean, I think they. I think it was a really, really great reward. I believed Dee. I really felt like I did feel like it touched her. Like when I watched her at it, like it made me feel like remember how certain songs can bring me back to a time in my life when I struggled. And so that whole edit really got me, and I enjoyed that part of Dee. I think because she's such a badass, she's such a tough chick, and then she's being vulnerable, sharing to the world, that she had problems in her. Oh, I like that. She had problems with her parents, and and this was that music that sort of was there at that time. So to me, that was that was the only part I enjoyed of that whole thing, other than her not getting it, because that would have been special for her. But other than that, I don't know who he is, and
I guess my thing is I just don't believe that that's the one thing that like that's the artist that Dee would go to like in her room. Like I'm just imagining little Dee crying, and I just can't imagine it's Zach
yeah,
Brown that really brought her back from
right.
the dumps.
Well, then she really thought it through quickly, then, right, to make that edit, like, right, because you have to think quick to be able to come up with that whole story.
Yeah, I would say so. You're probably right about that. I mean, actually, funny enough, thinking of that, um, they kind of going into a different discussion real quick. Charlie, the Charlie Rizzo battle was one that was really interesting from a narrative standpoint.
Mhm.
And I think this is one where like, people are like, well, you could have been dedicating some time to these women, but you're focusing on Charlie and Rizzo. The thing is, it was a really good story. It was really compelling how they edited it all together. And it seemed like it was largely based in Charlie going, how could Rizzo not vote for his number one in Survivor 49?
Right.
I'm gonna take him down. And I have to admit, like myself, when I watched it, I thought maybe Charlie really like that wasn't his main motivation, but I thought he really hammed it up. Like he realized
Yeah.
this is a TV show. I need to get producers to know this is my motivation as a character. I'm gonna
Yeah.
pop it on. But
Yeah.
you were out there and you've given these confessionals. So do you think Charlie hammed it up a bit?
I think, first of all, if that were me, I think Rizzo is so entertaining to watch. I don't know if I could freaking live with him. I don't, so I'm assuming that living with Rizzo 24/7 has got to be really freaking annoying. In my opinion, I think that he's a nice guy. I've never met him, blah blah blah. But like, I have a feeling, you're tired, you're frustrated, you're looking for something to like vent everything on. And I think that Charlie truly Was he hamming it up? I think he just like obsessed with it, and whether he was doing it intentionally or not, it made for a story, and he got the edits, he got cameos for it because of this. So it worked for him. And yeah, I mean, now, after you've been there once, you get it a little bit, and you get that the more drama you're causing, the more things you're going to, be bringing out there, the more you're going to be getting the cameos. So I think he probably did a little bit of both, but I think he made a big, obviously he made a big mistake, but um,
I think
Rizzo
that's fair to
is
say.
incredible. Like I actually have always liked Charlie, but I felt like this turned him into the type of personality that just seemed angry and bitter, and like the fact that he went and woke him up in the boat and told him about Jonathan and the Billie Eilish idol. Like I just thought that was a little bit too bizarre for me, and I'd be really pissed if he came and woke me up over something like that. I would kill him. I would kill him. That was like what Andy was doing to Rachel, and she was fuming. So the
Oh
fact
yes,
that
that's
he stooped
right. The
that
Andy
low,
Rachel thing.
yeah, and the fact that he stooped that low, like he must have been just going. Can't even imagine what was churning in his head for him to go do that. So he must have been going a little cuckoo.
Yeah, I mean, chances are pretty solid that that is indeed the case. Because I mean, I just can't imagine the necessity if you're feeling at all confident about what's going on that you would feel the need to kind of do that. It
Right.
shows. I think it does show extreme paranoia, and fair. Survivor is a game where there should
Oh yeah.
be a,
Oh yeah.
a little sprinkle of extreme paranoia, I'd imagine.
And
But
he may have been wanting to really keep reminding people of the season he was on, and that where he was, and where he landed, and at the end type thing. Just constantly reminding people, well, I was betrayed by my number one, or blah blah blah. And it could have been a whole bunch of little things in his back of his brain trying to like throw everything out there as much as possible to just make him relevant.
yeah, I would agree with that because like it is a good story. The idea that like I need to get rid of Rizzo because he wouldn't vote for number one, and I am not letting that happen again.
I know. Just
Which I think is fun, but at the same time, it also like if it goes back, it goes backward. It's a backfiring. It makes you look pretty wimpy, and that's what I think kind of happened with Charlie. He lost the battle to a guy named Riz God, all because his mind was stuck,
a young kid, yeah. Like
and he was stuck in 46.
can I tell you something? Like when the first time they showed the edit of him thinking that out loud, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be good because that was a little drama. It was gonna be cool, but he just kept saying so like laser focus on this one thing, and Riz God is out like, okay, well, Charlie's going for me, I'm gonna go for him, so I'm gonna just go get everybody and like just be me, and he like won. He won the battle, right?
Absolutely, 100%. And originally I thought maybe Rizzo was getting set up to be voted out of the game early
Me
because the
too.
early
Me
edit
too.
was like, I mean, first of all, he's coming in as the unknown commodity, which is
Yeah.
strike against you, kind of like Savannah.
Yes.
So that was the first one. But the second one was when he was doing this thing where he was telling like Colby, yeah, don't waste your time working around camp. I'm here to play, not to work.
I
And
would
I was
kill him. I would kill him. Kill him. Kill him. I would kill him.
like, Sue would be all over that. She'd be like,
Yeah.
excuse me, what are you
I
saying?
can't stand lazy people.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, because like, was there any little friction on Tuku for laziness for anyone?
There could have been a little. I don't think I really
Okay.
want to say.
Oh, absolutely. But like, I guess what I'm saying is it was present then, and it's likely that it'll play a factor in probably every tribe.
There is always going to be the people that are going to go out there, get the work done, want to do the work, know what needs to be done, and then the other ones are that are very good at watching and saying, "Yeah, yeah, oh, good, oh, yeah," and just like I said, maybe they didn't cut the umbilical cord from their mommies, and their probably moms are still washing their dirty clothes, maybe. But so yeah, that makes me insane, and that was one of my biggest fears was because I get irate when people don't carry their own load. At least do your own, But like you work together, you want to work together, and it was very obvious, that people didn't do that.
Oh, absolutely. Just for fun, I want to show a quick pic of Sue
Oh, there you go.
working on the farm here.
That's right.
Chopping away, chopping at that wood.
That's right. That's right. Me and Caroline. Caroline was a worker too. She was a worker.
I have a feeling Caroline was a little bit of everything. She's pretty great.
She's amazing, amazing. And she just anything, she would be like, we'd come back from a challenge, everyone's totally exhausted. And she'd be like, I'm going to go get water for us in we had the big, huge stainless steel or whatever those big pots. She would carry that down over, fill it up with water. And I'm just like, how is this girl functioning? I can barely walk. And she's just like wanting to help every way possible. She was so good.
Oh, she's wonderful. I was a big fan. Like for a long time, I actually thought she could have been my winner pick for 47 while it was going. I was like, man, she's in there. She's bright. She communicates well, and she's kind of under the radar a little bit. Didn't work out, but that's okay too. Oh, one more of Sue, just because I'm showing off my wealth of.
Oh, there you go. Sue, me and my fires. That was my obsession, was the fire. Keep that fire going.
Well, is that what was going on with all the like ash on your face? Was that what it was?
Well, here's the thing. I slept next to the fire. I'm the type that I'll go get my hands dirty. I crawl, I dig, I'll do everything I can. I did sleep this far from the fire. Like literally, I had rocks in there. I would put them closer to the flames, and then in the middle of the night, bring them into my body just to stay warm. But I want to say that I'm the first to say, yeah, I probably was dirty, but every single one of the cast members said that they never, ever, ever saw me looking that way. And so we're all saying maybe there's a little conspiracy theory that there could have been a little something in the edit, giving me much more dirt than what I had. So I don't know. You're
probably right, because there are times where it just looked like
it was too much. It was ridiculous.
It looked like it was unusual, and it was so confusing because I think everyone at home, like including myself as fans, were like, so they're all in the same island, they're all looking at each other in the face. How is Sue like the one that seems like has the most random nonsense on her face? And there's no way someone's not telling her.
And the thing is that the one thing we were allowed was bug spray and sunscreen. So every day I'm putting that on my face, sunscreen on my face, on my whole body. It's, I don't know. Don't know.
Yeah, the great mystery of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, whatever. Ultimately, it doesn't matter. It was just a fun little meme, I guess. It's like
the best thing ever. It's just I'm known for my red paint and dirty face. Whatever. Like at least I'm known for something, right? I don't care.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of people end up leaving Survivor. They're not really known for too much.
Yeah.
And thankfully, I don't think any of yours were something that would fall into like the embarrassing category. Instead, it was just more kind of like, wow, so like obviously the big one is like the dirt thing, but is the age lie. That was a fun, or is it a lie? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure to this day,
Yeah.
No.
The age lie, I just went in there trying to be underrated. I didn't want them to know I was a pilot. I owned a flight school. I didn't want them to know I was smart. I just figured I'd go in there as the old lady, just like hanging out, and then I'd blow them away at the end with my age and I was hoping to win more challenges, because if I won more immunity challenges, I think I may have had a shot, but it didn't work.
That's actually, there's kind of like a quick pivot, I guess, kind of going to season 50. There was actually, so this past episode, and on the Callow tribe, Coach was like getting his people together, doing the doing the nicknames and stuff for Joe and Colby, because he's getting the old strong guys together, which is a classic Coach move.
Right.
He's gathering his Knights of the Round Table.
Exactly.
And it was interesting because he's like, I'm going to get all the challenge beasts together, and Colby and Joe basically. But then a lot of fans pointed out, which I thought for a second, he was like, interesting, Chrissy has the tied for the record for most immunity necklaces won by a woman, not included in the challenge beast Knights of the Round Table. And then I was thinking to myself, I'm like, you know what, Coach, who says you're part of the challenge beast at this point? Exactly. I'll say right now, Susie Q, I think you can take them.
I 100% can take him, and I could definitely swim in fins and not get a cramp and know how to get out of getting a cramp if
Yeah.
I did, because I'm certified scuba diver too. So, like, the fact that he didn't even know what to do was shocking. Yeah,
No.
I could easily take him. I'm not even afraid to coach.
Oh,
Bring
I
it on.
100% believe it. Because, like, I mean, obviously, season 47 is not that long ago.
No.
And when I go back and I look at some of these different challenges you did, like because you won the grip strength challenge,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, coach is not winning that. Like I
Twice I
mean,
came in second place with the balance.
yeah, and he's not going to win that either. He's definitely
Yeah.
not going to win that one.
No.
So realistically, I don't even know if coach would be in his own club if Susie Q is on the
Yeah,
beat.
I think I'd be naming him, and he'd be like my jester.
I'm going to call you Feather Jester.
Feather jester. Yeah.
I don't know. We'll give him that name.
Yeah, feather jester.
Do you like, okay, so aside from the fact that maybe you would probably beat him in these challenges anyway. Like, all right, would you actually want to work with coach if you had the opportunity?
I don't know if he would make me be annoying to me. I have an issue with people that annoy me, and it's just me. It's certain things and certain traits that people like talking about how he does sometimes. He's a little bit too much. I don't know if I could work with him.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, he's as much as he's saying he's also trying to keep this like, leading from the front personality behind from South Pacific, where he kind of had a cult on his tribe.
Right.
I don't think he can get rid of that. I think he feels like he has to be in control of stuff. His way has to be right, and his way is kind of goofy. So you have to adhere to a really kind of goofy way of doing things.
Yeah.
Strategically.
Yeah. And like as much as everyone on my season will tell you that I was never swayed by anybody. People would say, "What are you doing?" And I'd be like, "I'll let you know when I know." But like I was never ever someone who allowed anybody to tell me what to do and how to vote, or we all talked and did stuff, but like I would never have changed my vote. Even like I wanted Andy out because of Caroline. So like, and Rachel wanted Sam out, and I was just like, you can vote who you want to. I'm voting Andy because to get revenge for Caroline. Like nobody was ever going to change my vote, and I don't like people that think that they can tell me, who to be and how to do it.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's one thing. Like, no matter what from your game, I think it's pretty clear that you're a pretty strong, independent lady the way you live your life. So why wouldn't it translate to the game? Yeah. And I mean, but really the thing is, it's just like, what's the motivation? Like, what can you sell me on? I mean, ultimately, you're not going to tell me what to do, but you can at least make an argument, and then I'll just take it from there.
Right.
So I think that's what I've always gotten from what you said. Whereas like there are seasons where they're genuine lapdogs. Like the number one I can think of off the top of my head is Redemption Island, Boston Rob season he won, where he just basically told them all what to do, and they just did it.
And they did it. That was insane.
It's one of the craziest games I've ever seen still to this day.
Yeah.
And I'll never understand it. But it's clearly that was not Sue Smey and her game in Survivor 47.
No, definitely
no. But I wanted to trip kind of back to the Charlie thing, because we didn't really get to dive into it. But so one of the things that really comes from like Charlie losing this game, voted out in episode 5, defeated by the Riz God, which is a crowning achievement on its own. Charlie gets voted out the first tribal council, he's eligible. Mm-hmm. Now, I guess the question is, going back to 46, there's been a controversy ever since, like Charlie lost because Maria was like a bitter old wench. Mm-hmm. And now we're going to this season where he goes out kind of right away, and maybe his relationships aren't as good as he thought they would be. I wonder if, even though they're 2 separate games, I wonder if it's a good time to revisit really what happened in 46. And is it really like Maria's fault?
No, it's not. Look, she's good, whether she's bitter, I remember speaking to her soon after she had come back, and I remember her saying that people were saying that she's bitter. I said, you know what? You tell them I'm fucking bitter. Like, who fucking cares? Like, be bitter. You're allowed to be bitter. Who cares? It's like, whatever. Like, that's just people. You do you. And, she was burned big time. I think she was burned big time by everybody ganging up and, taking that advantage, that challenge away from her. So, right. Don't you agree?
Well, I mean, she was definitely screwed by like Probst and production for the challenge. I mean, like the players can only do what they're allowed to do. So brilliant innovation by Liz Wilcox to try to stop Maria, because they all knew if Maria made it to the final, it was
Right.
over. So I respect that. Like, Probst should have said you can't do that, which would have made it better. But yeah, she got burned there. However, like, I don't necessarily think Maria was like bitter about it necessarily. To me, the way I've always interpreted this was, you have Kenzie, who's like openly at Final Tribal is like, listen, I'm going to take the money and I'm going to use it to build a family.
Right.
And Charlie is like, was on his way to becoming, a lawyer, passing the bar, and not planning to make a family in the next year or two. When I heard that, considering Kenzie's also a badass too, I know one of those necklaces were from, the challenge that was stolen from Maria.
Right.
But Kenzie had like one or two necklaces before that. And she made it to the finals navigating on her own. No one dragged her.
Right.
So in my mind, when Maria heard about the family, I don't like, that speaks to Maria in my mind. Like, her thing was being mama bear.
Yeah.
So it makes total sense that she would at least consider voting for Kenzie.
Right.
And, maybe she did think that she did the bulk of the legwork with the Charlie Maria relationship.
Don't you think she did a little bit? Don't you think he sort of wrote her coattails?
I completely think she did the bulk of the work, and this is actually
so why give it to him? Why give it to him when she was the one running the show with him?
I agree, and also I just Charlie lost 5-3. It wasn't just Maria, okay? So
exactly,
like
the fact that he's bringing this whole thing up again, and he's still hemming and hawing over. He's the one that's bitter, right? For him to be like his only focus, he ruined his whole game this week because he was solely focused on Maria. Is it karma? I don't know. I don't know.
It's a good question, because I have to imagine. And Charlie's a nice guy. I'm sure he's, I'm sure he's going to do, well after this. Maybe he'll get to play again and redeem himself. But I think Charlie's probably been like strutting around since 46 quietly, because he's kind of a quietly nice guy, that thinking that he was robbed of a win instead of he just lost, So him losing so early in 50, I really hope like a lesson is taken from this, for him, but like also for fans. Like, yeah, maybe not. Maybe he lost because he was supposed to lose.
Right. Yeah. Well, I don't think he had any spectacular gameplay this season. I don't think he did anything special. And when he did throw out the whole, who was it that Jonathan had mentioned, he felt Jonathan knew, like, that was like the worst bluff he could come up with. And it just didn't play, right? Like, I didn't think he had anything. I was disappointed in his gameplay. I thought he would be much better, but maybe that leads to prove that Maria was carrying him in 46.
I mean, that's a great conclusion in my mind. Was Maria the connector? And now, at least, whether it's true or not, I think there's at least serious doubt for it. Yeah. And I kind of hope that's something fans kind of take away from it. I have seen more conversation around that. I've always been like kind of a little zeroed in on this issue, because I've always thought Maria was probably the most unfairly treated of all the new era players, in a negative way after the season was over. So I've always kind of felt for her. And, like, Charlie's never tried to clear it up or anything, and which he doesn't have to. But, she's always kind of just like been left out to dry. And I'm glad that maybe she's a little more vindicated potentially after this result.
Yeah. So I have a question for you. Do you feel, I don't know, like, I know that Jeff was very close with Mike White. And how hard was that for him to snuff his torch and then to snuff Charlie's? Don't you think that he's been close with Charlie too? He brought him in on his podcast, and like, these are his people, right? And
these are his people.
And I think these last two tribals have been probably personally a stab in the heart for Jeff.
Oh, I think you're totally right. I think losing Mike White is a tough one, because I assume Mike White's only on the season because of because how famous he is.
Yes.
I liked Mike White. He's a good confessionalist. He's funny.
Yeah.
He put in the work. He was in great shape.
Right.
But should he have really been on? Probably not.
Yeah.
And I think it was probably more so forced by production / Jeff. And so that was probably a big loss, like you said. And then Charlie, which I didn't see the point of putting Charlie on without Maria, actually.
Right.
So, and I know that would have been like adding a rivalry, which I guess Jeff wouldn't want. But then I was like, okay, then don't pick Charlie. I would rather have Andy.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would
Yeah.
much rather have Andy,
Yeah.
considering there are other 46 people.
Yeah.
But so it probably hurt him a lot, considering these were probably big picks. And
Yeah.
I'm curious how that goes, because, and this is where I kind of turn the question, back to you. This Sela tribe that went to tribal council, 3 former co-hosts of On Fire with Jeff Probst, the podcast, were on the tribe together for this vote.
Right.
And funny enough, there was no link up there. Did you at all think maybe there could be between Devins, Dee, and Charlie?
I didn't think that, because I just think that I don't think that. No, I didn't think that at all.
you're like, nah, how I know them, that wasn't gonna happen.
No, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't think. I don't think, because I don't know if there's really anything that ties them in to each other just because they're on the On Fire. Like Rachel's on it, and I don't think she has any relationship with any of the other people.
No, you're right about that. They just have that coincidental link.
Yeah, they're the lucky ones that got called onto it, and but I don't think there's any type of connection or relationship whatsoever.
Yeah, which is probably for the best. I mean, it sounds like they were supposed to be voting together hypothetically, but then Dee basically flipped the script.
She flipped it. She jumped right away with Rizzo. I was so surprised. I didn't think she was going to.
I didn't think so either. I actually thought she would find it to be annoying. But the thing is, and I really thought about it, when it happened, and she was like, I'm hopping on board. I was like, man, if there was anyone on the beach that is most like Savannah left in the game, it is Dee.
Oh yeah, it's Dee. That's why I'm so disappointed that I haven't seen more of Dee. Like this. So again, Angelina may be correct, but I think I also feel it's because the tribes, we're going always focusing on the losing tribe, but he is such a dangerous player. And part of me is wondering, is she going to suck Rizzo in like she sucked in
Austin?
Yes. And I'm wondering if she's going to burn him like the way she did burn Austin, because they were like holding hands, like looked like a romance, right?
Yeah, they were, as far as I know, they were for like a hot second.
Yeah, but look at what she did. Like she's ruthless. That's why I can't wait to see more of her, because she's a gamer. I think she's there. We're not even seeing half of who she could be.
Yeah, she is an incredible gamer, and I have to give that to her. She has a killer instinct in her, which is awesome. And I always feel bad about the Austin topic, because I think Austin's a really good player. And I think I thought Dee's win was really dependent on Austin, and, vice versa. If Austin had won, it would have been really dependent on Dee.
Yeah.
So it always hurts me a little bit, because like the idea that he got duped.
Oh my God. That was sickening. It was sickening, but so impressive. Like, this is Survivor. And this is why I'm thinking, Rizzo's going to think he's got her reps on his finger, and he's got Cirie rep. He's messing with fire. With right now, it's working for them. Cirie felt she was, a low man on the pole, so now she's back in with the group. Like even Camilla. Camilla's a smart cookie too. I mean, I think he's so good, but he's such a newbie still, and messing with these women is just going to be probably a demise for him.
Well, that's fair. I mean, he's a girl's guy, as he would say.
Because he made it very clear too, right? He doesn't work with guys.
It's not, honestly, it's not a bad space to be in at all.
It's not, except you're working with the deadliest people here.
It is a little scary to link up with a Cirie and a Dee, but that's actually really good protection though for Rizzo, if you really think about it, because Rizzo's the newbie, so he's got that target. But he won't shut up, and that's one of the things I like about him a lot, is that he's really charismatic.
Yeah,
you could argue that also makes him incredibly annoying, but in a way that also makes you. I think that makes you like such a big threat, like an obvious target, that sometimes the threat almost becomes invisible. It's like, well, we can get rid of Rizzo at any time; he'll be a target constantly. Maybe we should look at someone else. But so I guess what I'm getting at is linking up with Cirie and Dee. They're dangerous, but they're also like huge targets.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, there's going to be a merge though. Now, what's going to happen to poor Rizzo when Cirie's back with her people, right? It'll be interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see, because I think she's probably got stronger alliances with people that she's known for all these years.
I agree. I agree. And okay, I guess to move the conversation along a little bit, I can't believe I haven't asked you this yet, but I guess my question is, Genevieve, Survivor 47, your girl. How do you think she's doing so far at this point? How do you feel about her?
Oh, I think she's doing incredible. I keep saying, when she played with us, she was so closed off and she didn't want to have any emotional, personal relationships with any of us. And I really didn't get to know her that well while we were playing until once, the season was over. And now I speak to her a lot. Like, I love her and she's so intelligent. And even when she got voted off on our tribe, like Becca, and when I hugged her, I just said, "You're the most brilliant person I've ever met." She's brilliant and she's playing the game so good. Unfortunately, the rivalry with her and Aubrey has got to be brutal. I can't imagine, being on a tribe with someone that is the same person as you. I think they're the exact same person, like personalities, the intenseness of it, knowing the gameplay. So they both are gonna. It's incredible to watch these two, and it kills me. Like when Aubrey makes the eyes last, 2 weeks ago, I just wanted to reach to the or like, that's my girl. But I think Jennifer's playing a really good game. Do you think so?
Oh, I think Genevieve. I mean, she found two idols. She can't keep either of them, but she got two.
I know, it's so unfair. She finally finds two idols, and the none were for her.
I know it's pretty disturbing. I mean, the idea that she actually found two, couldn't keep any of them. I liked her decisions of who to give them to. So that was like giving one to Rizzo, obviously, as a fan of Rizzo and a fan of good TV. Beautiful, Jen. Now I'm just nervous that maybe it won't come back around. But I think Genevieve in general is playing really well.
She is. She's playing really good. And like I would have thought too, who was going to be the most easily voted out on the other tribes, right? Because you want that idol to come back to you. So I think she was probably thinking, Rizzo is newbie. Nobody really knows his game, and he's going to be out of here, and she's going to get that idol in her hands. And Ozzy, she gave one to Ozzy, right?
She sure did. The Wizard of Oz.
He's like the king, like everybody, a big threat. So most likely he's going to be a person to be, targeted early. So I think her thought process is pretty good.
So Rizzo, I think, was dead on. I think that was a good gamble. The Ozzy one, I'm a little surprised by. I probably wouldn't have given it to Ozzy. Because like at the tribal stage, it's so tough to vote out Ozzy because he is statistically, he's the greatest challenger of all time.
Right.
He's also older though. So
and he hasn't done so good. He hasn't been doing so good as
I think they've lost every team challenge.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I want to blame the rest of his tribe more than him, but you're right. I mean, on the original Sela tribe, which is when he got the idol, probably the best challenger is probably Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah. At this point, at least, probably.
No. Did you see? Well, when they did this water challenge, Joe was sucking wind big time. He was like, whew, I was shocked to see how wiped out he was compared to Jonathan and Ozzy.
Yeah, so was I. I was just like, really? Like my girlfriend was sitting there and she's like, the fireman is tired. Isn't he used to some of this stuff?
Well, he looks like he put on a little weight, don't you think?
Probably because if you went back out there, would you put on weight ahead of time now that you know what you know?
I would put on so much weight ahead of time.
Exactly. I mean, maybe that's what he did,
Yeah.
He just decided, I'm going to stop showing off the muscles and instead I'll show off the muscles on day 20.
My dad bod.
I mean, because that's really a thing. Maybe that's what it was. And maybe he's not used to it and he got a little out of shape. But you know what, though? He brought it home. There was the winning tribe.
Oh, yeah, he did. Oh, you want to hear something so cool is when 14 days, I think, before Genevieve left for 50, Caroline and I went out to her house. And, so we spent the weekend with her. Just, we went to a Winnipeg, hockey game and everything.
Oh, the Winnipeg Jets.
Yes. But, in playoffs. And, but we were at her parents' house, and in the backyard, they have a whole Survivor obstacle course made for her to practice. And one of the things was the beanbag toss up into the little perches, and we
Oh, okay.
practiced that with her. So like I was so pumped to see that on TV that like that was the thing we practiced with her, even though she didn't have to do it. But like it was just so cool that was one of the things that she'd been working on.
Man, so you have to prepare ahead of time, whether it's gaining like 20 pounds on top of your
Yeah,
muscle like Joe, or to plan the beanbag
yeah,
challenge. That's pretty cool on Jen's
exactly.
part.
Very cool. Very
Absolutely. Oh,
cool.
by the way, Genevieve, like also now as I'm sitting here and like I'm just like, randomly as we're talking, I'm pulling up photos and everything. The one thing that she has done both times, wardrobe choice is incredible. Let me remove this for a second. This one
Yeah,
right here. This
I
this
love it.
sweater. It's a lobster sweater.
I love it. I love it. She's the fashionista. We went to this. We were invited to this winery by this wonderful company, and she was the hottest dressed person out there. She looks so beautiful, and I'm like, Genevieve, you go, girl. Like she's got taste. She's and style. She's really, really on top of it. Look at her.
Look at
The
her.
best was when she did Dragon Slayer. She's
When she
her
did the Dragon Slayer
personality
thing.
is here. She's here. She's
I was
playing.
so on board with the Dragon Slayer thing, by the way.
Yeah.
Whether it was a joke or not. Oh, I love it.
Oh, so good. So good. Yeah, look at that face. She's so pretty.
Absolutely. You can't resist that one.
Nope. Beautiful.
I wanted a quick transition to away from Jen, who I think has been playing an awesome game. Hopefully she
Yes.
wins the Genevieve Aubrey war. I'm a little worried because Aubrey does have an idol that works,
Yes.
and Genevieve is given away too.
Yeah, she's just handing them out.
Yeah, which is wonderful, right? It's a shame.
But how great is that to have at Final Tribal saying, "Look, how many things I found." Like that's another thing saying I got notch on your list there.
Yeah, it's like unfortunately Billie Eilish said I can't keep them, but I found two,
Yeah.
and or I found more, whatever transpires moving forward. But I'm a little worried in that regard because they're set kind of like Rizzo and Charlie. They're setting up them to come to a head. Now Aubrey hasn't gotten the strongest edit so far, but it's picking up, like her talking to Coach about making a relationship and saying I want to play with people I respect.
Yeah.
Genevieve's has probably gone down actually a little bit lately, but no matter what, they all haven't gone to tribal, so we don't know what the stakes are.
But now we're merging again. Like this is a totally new game now. Everything who you hated, whatever that you made, may not even affect you. Like I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
100%.
But I do think Aubrey probably has more alliances than Genevieve. I think Aubrey, having been so many years with all of these people getting to know them, when Genevieve only had 1 year, to get to build outside alliances.
That's true. Aubrey's been around since season 32. It's been a long time, and she played 3 times already.
Yeah.
Korong, Game Changers, Edge of Extinction, and now fourth time. She's played with 1 or 2 of these people. She played with Devins,
right?
So she's got some connections for sure.
Definitely.
And that's just who they played with, but obviously, like they've been on the circuit forever, so she probably met them all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, just a quick transition because I know we've been yapping a little bit. That's what happens.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah. Well, so like a big character on the season, not Genevieve. Genevieve's been pretty awesome. A big character on the season has been Christian. Who doesn't love Christian, right?
I love Christian. Love Christian. He has me every week just cracking up at him. He's hysterical.
He's way too funny. And you know what? I've loved Christian ever since David vs. Goliath. He was the one person from David vs. Goliath that I said, oh, he should be back.
Right.
Without a question. And honestly, he's just a very unique personality. He's very bright, and he's very good at confessionals, and he's got interesting ticks. But so far, considering he's gone to tribal council every time, we've gotten a lot of Christian. Arguably too much Christian, but I can never get enough.
No, same. I love every time I see him on the screen, I'm so excited because everything that comes out of his mouth and his expressions, and like you said, he's brilliant. And the things that he says are just like, I had to look up 2 words. Like I didn't even know what they meant.
I looked one up. He said adenine or something.
What is does he realize?
Yeah, I was like, newspapers are written for 6th grade reading level. Can you talk in 6th grade reading level for me, please?
Please.
God, that would be really nice because otherwise keep up with you, Christian. Um,
He's just really so cool.
he's been so great, and he's controlled a lot of different things up to this point, but
Everything.
it's really hard to argue, and I think he's handled things pretty well for the most part. But there's one interesting thing about Christian's game so far up to this point that's actually kind of annoyed me as a fan. Is it happened with Joe, and it happened last episode with Ozzy. Is he got very upset that Ozzy was upset he was left out of the vote, and he was upset that he and Devins were upset that Joe would be bothered that he was left out of information too. I feel like I'm being gaslit as a fan that Christian's right that people shouldn't get upset when they consider themselves allies and they're left out of a vote. Shouldn't you get upset when you're left out of a vote or left out of information?
When I was left out of the Gabe vote and the Caroline vote, the F-bombs that came out of my mouth were out of control. I walked past Andy, who was in the back behind our shelter, fuming, and I yelled, "What the fuck?" And it echoed through the whole island. Like, no, I was pissed. And Ozzy has every right to be pissed. Fuck that. Sorry if I'm swearing, but fuck that. Fuck that.
That's what I'm saying. I'm sitting there as a viewer.
And Ozzy had to apologize. I will never apologize for you guys leaving me out of vote and removing my two allies. F you.
That's what I'm saying. Because like it all started with when Devins and Joe had their discussion in episode 2, when Devins like hypothetically was creating an alliance with Joe involved, and Joe picked up the fact that Devins lied to him in front of his face and then wouldn't tell him about it, and then he got mad at Joe for being upset at him for lying to him, and I'm like, wait,
total gaslight.
I'm like, am I being gaslit? Like, no, Joe is not in the wrong. Devins is in the wrong.
Yeah. I think Christian is he's so smart. He's able to manipulate these people to actually apologizing, or like he's able to make even the audience be like, no, Ozzy was wrong to be upset that he was left out. And his guy, Mike White, was taken out when he wanted to keep Mike. So like, Christian's brilliant. He's playing the best game out there out of everybody.
He's playing a great game. He's playing a great game, and kind of an interesting like right now at this point, if people were to watch this show and they had to pick a horse of who they think is going to win, it's fair to say they probably like right away would be like, oh, probably Christian.
Yeah, absolutely. I want him to win. He's so good.
Well, I do too, which creates a lot of problems for me because he wasn't my winner choice, even though I'd be thrilled.
Yeah.
And my thing lately is though, like he's had so much control. I wonder has Christian peaked too early?
Well, they're starting all over again. So I don't think so. I think he's enjoying this. He's going to roll with this. He's got Emily. That's what I wanted to ask you, not to switch it a little bit, but like, what do you think of Emily? Like when Ozzy's telling her, I want to do Christian, and then she goes and says, Ozzy's coming after you. Like, I can't play with someone who just flip-flops 24/7. That was what, Andy did. It drove me crazy. I can't play with that.
So it's funny you say that because I love Emily Flippin. I loved her in 45. I love her so far in 50. Yeah.
But she doesn't shut up. Like she did.
Is it bad?
No, it's so entertaining, but like I could never be aligned with someone like her.
And
I can't trust her.
And that's the funny thing. Christian seems to,
For now. But she was aligned with Ozzy last week, right? Ozzy was her number one, and now this week Christian is.
Well, right? And that's yeah. I mean, I guess it's tough to know with Emily, probably because she is flip-flopping a little bit. But like last week, I actually was very much in Emily's corner when people are like, Emily, shut up, you're ruining everything. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, I think you have that opinion if you're a viewer thinking like, I am pro-Christian. I want Christian's plans to work. So Emily is wrong for talking about it. But Christian at the same time is telling Emily to shut out her other ally, Ozzy, which would hurt Emily's game It doesn't
Right.
affect Christian's at all, but it hurts Emily's game. So when Emily like kind of gave Oz a heads up, I'm like, Emily's kind of hedging her bets, and I think that's actually kind of a smart thing to
It
do.
is smart. And no, it's very smart. But I would have killed her. I would have killed her. Like when she called Ozzy, she's like Ozzy, 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 and Christian's behind her going, like that last week. It was so funny, but like I don't know. I mean, she's definitely a character, but I just can't figure out who really she's aligned with. Like I don't know. And right now, Christian seems to have her wrapped, so we'll see.
And I think you're right. And I know that you and Emily probably wouldn't jive all that well as far as that goes, because you want to keep the game more straightforward. Like, all right, I don't want to have to question your intentions all the time.
Yeah.
And the good thing about Emily is it seems like even if she does talk a little too much, she comes back to the home base.
Yeah.
But I think she's right to be a little paranoid, because for me, when Christian told her about sending the idol to Aubrey, right as the swap was about to happen on the mat, you can interpret it two different ways. You can interpret it as he's going to tell his ally before they get separated, like really important info that could save her.
That's how I do it. Yeah.
And that's a good way to do it. And that is part of it, I'm sure. But the other way you can interpret it, if you're Emily, is Christian didn't care enough about me as an ally to tell me before this moment.
Mm-hmm.
So
but he actually was saying, I didn't have time to get together with her. So
well, that's what he said, but I can't imagine that's true, because like I think the swap happened in episode 3, and I guess he found the idol episode 2. So I mean, maybe there was only a day. Maybe they edited it so it looked like it was further apart. Maybe it was the same day. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I have a hard time believing. I know you get pulled away sometimes for confessionals and before travel or whatever, and you
can be gone for an hour, an hour and a half, and then all of a sudden they're like, okay, we're on ice, we're gonna head in. So that could have happened too.
And it's true. I just have a really hard time believing that like somehow Emily's the one you couldn't get to. And even if that was the case, I mean, she doesn't know this, but she knows. She doesn't know who knows and who doesn't. I guess like she doesn't know Devin's already knew, and I think Sari found out about it maybe, but she doesn't know that part. But she probably knows she was told very last minute.
Yeah, and that sucks too. That's
exactly, and she knows the implications of that.
Mm-hmm.
So she probably got a little nervous, rightfully so. And that's where I'm on her side, because I'm like, she's using her gut, and you have to use your gut and survive, because you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. You just try to read what's going on, and I understand where she's coming from, but she has been quite blabby. Because the counter to what I'm saying is, if you are thinking Christian is maybe not as tight of an ally as you think, then flip on him and vote him out with Mike White and Angelina.
Right.
But instead, she's talking and then not actually straying.
I think once she heard Mike White said her name, you knew she was going for Mike White. I know I would. So I think once she heard that, all bets were off.
I agree. And it makes me so happy, because I'll tell you, Sue, before the season started, before the season even went out, before they even went out to play the game, because like they leaked it. Everyone said like, well, the planes are going to leave on this day. Before that even happened, I was like, listen, I'm locking in my winner pick now, so no one thinks I'm lying about this later, if I'm right. I chose Emily Flippin. I thought she was the right. I thought Emily was the right mix. I was like, she's not going to be too big of a threat of anything. She's a highly logical player, so people are going to want to work with her. Honestly, I kind of thought she was a little bit more of a vault with information, but she's been talking a lot. I still feel good about it. But
she's playing a good game. She is playing a good game.
I just don't see her as the target anytime soon,
No,
and that's
me neither. And now that they've merged, it's all going to start all over again. 100%. I think we're going to see alliances coming together, and it'll be really interesting to see. Like, I'm really curious to see about Rizzo too. Like, what's going to happen with Rizzo when the whole group is together and he's the only one that they don't really know.
Do you think there's any chance? I mean, Rizzo has an idol. Do you think there's any chance that he could even come close to pulling off the like fishing with the idol that he did in 49?
No,
where he's like, here it is.
They'll kill him. I think they'll kill him. They're not going to do that at all.
I think you're right. I think there's no prayer. He's going to leave more than one tribal council doing that.
Oh yeah. Oh, no way. They're going to kill him. I don't see it. I think he's still too like fresh blood for them, and he's going to be an easy like it'll be interesting to see what happens. Like I'm excited to see because he is playing a really good game, and he's like got the balls, like right, like he's just
Oh
playing
yeah,
a good game. He went out there to play, and he's playing, but I just don't know if it's going to be a little bit too much over the top, and they're going to not want to put up with it.
I agree with that. You know,
We'll
so
see.
so I know we've been a little over time, so I think I'm gonna speed run through some
Okay.
questions. I call hot topics for Sue,
Okay.
okay?
Okay.
Or we could relay it to a different kind of segment, which we can call that's how Sue sees it.
Okay.
Perfect.
Sue
So
Smey.
yeah, that's how Sue sees it. So hot questions, and this is kind of quick answers.
I'll try.
So give your gut feeling, okay?
Mhm.
Realistically, should anyone be afraid of Suri Fields winning Survivor 50?
No.
I agree with you. So does the
Be
mic
the player that's played the most and never won.
exactly? I tell people all the time because Suri's got a lot of fans. I'm like, listen,
She does.
this is her 6th time. She's the most efficient loser in the history of Survivor.
She is. She does it with grace.
Yeah, she does. She does it with
Yeah.
grace. It's consistent. It's great. I mean,
Yeah.
well, because in my mind, and this isn't scientific, although I should run the numbers. You either need to win an individual immunity or find an idol or an advantage on your own to even have a shot to win, I think.
Yes, I agree.
And I don't
I
think she
agree.
can do any of those.
Mm-mm. No.
Yeah. So that's why I think she's always going to be, the bridesmaid, not the bride.
Always. Poor thing.
Well, unfortunately, she's never even made a final. So that's
Yeah, but at least she's coming back. She's done something right. So she's
yeah,
someone that doesn't give up. So that's a good thing.
that is true. She's been the fullback for 2 wins for Parvati so far. So, yeah. But I appreciate that insight because I think it shocks players, or not players, fans. I think it shocks fans to hear that Suri's not as scary of a threat in game as you would think.
Right. Yeah, probably. I don't know why. I mean, I think she's a great player. She's a mastermind, but like you said, I think she's too much of a threat, even though she's really not a threat, but they want to get her out anyways.
Yeah. And that's the
Right.
tough thing. Like she's always a lingering threat because she's really smart and talented. But
Yeah.
I think there's a belief that she just can't bring it home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah. All right, next one. So post game for after the Mike White vote, when Christian, apparently there's a breakdown in the relationship. Christian and Mike were friends for like 7 or 8 years after David versus Goliath, and I guess they just haven't talked.
Yes.
And I think it's a harsh reminder about the effect of returnee seasons.
Mhm.
And I guess with that kind of breakdown there, does that, like, for you, if you ever get the potential to come back to a returner season, does that give you pause at all?
No, not at all.
You're ready to slit some
Yeah.
throats.
I mean, to be honest, I don't think that they would ever have me back, but I
Why do you
would
say
never
that?
say. I just don't think they would. I mean, I'm older. I'm just gonna be 61 this year. Like
You're 45 years old.
45 and staying 45. But I just don't think, like these people again, this is a show where you're all playing your own game and people are going to get burned and people are going to get blindsided and people are going to be angry and offended and they don't want to be your friend anymore. Then that's their choice. And, it sucks because, I feel bad that Mike White is so upset that he won't speak to Christian, but I'm sure Christian's going to be okay.
Yeah, I think ultimately that's it. I mean, it sounds like it's Mike and it's his prerogative and everything, but
Yeah.
For you, like, like just trying to put yourself in the headspace of like, I'm out there with Genevieve and, we had a good thing for, 12 days, but then it gets to a point where Jen's like, yeah, I'm not going to stand up for you. I'm going to let it happen. Even though she could do something, it's like,
Yeah.
that's got to mess with your mind after the game. Even if you don't like, you get it, but it's tough.
It hurts, and it's something that you have to come to terms with, and you have to, once you can step out of the box and realize that. So I mean, I don't want to bring up Beast Games, but like it happened to me in Beast Games. And so, I was really pissed, but after a while, you're just like, okay, my life goes on. I went in there with nothing and, with whatever I went in with, and I left with whatever I left with, like I'm okay. And I played a game, and you have to just, I think if it were Genevieve, it'd be hurt worse because we are friends, but I I think you just
You think you'd be able to still dissect, like differentiate the game
maybe
and like
not, maybe
Team
not.
Genevieve and
I don't
personal.
know if it's a close friend. I don't know.
It's a tough one. I mean, it's been going on for a long time.
Yeah, I can't say
Survivor,
no. Yeah,
Survivor All Stars, Lex and Boston Rob, the famous moment
yeah.
that they still don't talk,
Mhm.
and it's disappointing. And now I think at this point, it's just because there's so many years and you've grown apart, and they
Yeah,
probably don't have the grudge there anymore. But it diverged directly as a result of in-game stuff,
yeah,
and it's so trippy to think that. But we can't forget All Stars. They didn't know how to navigate it because it was the first time returning players had come back for any real reality show. And these new era folks, well, we can count Christian and Mike White because they've never been a part of a returning season.
right.
They've never had a taste of how to navigate that, and I think we're learning it's tough.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's tough. I think it's if it were someone that I was close with, it would be very tough. And I
exactly.
can't really answer how I would handle it, because sometimes I don't know.
But no matter what, if you were like, all right, Genevieve and me are going back, at last minute to back out, you wouldn't do it.
To back out going.
Well, I mean, like they're saying, like, okay, well, we both got calls, we're both going. You're like, oh no, does it give you pause to go forward, or maybe even another friend from another season or something?
No,
But
not at all. I would go in a heartbeat.
that's the Sue Smey, I know,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Sure. So, all right, moving on. Whose game has been the biggest disappointment for you so far?
Who? I think Charlie's.
It's a good pick. Yeah, I mean, I think Charlie's really talented, but it was a big flop.
Because we haven't seen enough of anybody else. So the people that have actually played the game, and they've got that personality, everything going for them. Charlie, I don't think he played it right, and I think he was so blindsided by one thing and one thing only, and it was somewhat annoying after a while. So I don't
Yeah,
think it was a good game.
I would
Plan.
agree with that for sure, 100%. Oh my gosh. Well, then I guess kind of flipping it the other way around. Whose game have you been most impressed by so far?
Christian.
Of course.
Christian's game is by far just his mind. His even like with Mike White bringing up about what happened with him and Gabby, and and then and I'm thinking, okay, Christian's like devastated, and he's like, and then all of a sudden he's just like he's pissed off at Mike because Mike he's like, wait, he's the mastermind, and so like he's really playing this game, and he's not only playing the game, he's entertaining. Like we were just saying, like everything about him is just a 10 plus.
He's a wonder.
He
And
is.
I hope it continues. I'm a little worried, Abby, but I will say that I cannot wait to see the fake idol planted at Tribal.
Oh my God, I
Explode.
know. So gonna be so good. But
How
again,
innovative
Ozzy's coming
was that?
after him too. Don't forget, Ozzy will come after him too.
Oh yeah, you think Ozzy's not going to let it go?
No, no way. I know I would. I didn't. I didn't let it
Yeah. Sue did
go.
not let that go. Like, no,
No.
listen, here's what it is. We're voting
Yeah.
Andy.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So Ozzy's not letting it go. He just needs to find the right time. But yeah, the idol at Tribal is going to be so fun to watch. It's going to be so cool.
Do you think that is one of the most innovative ways to use a fake idol?
Yes. So good. So
That
good.
That may be one of the most innovative ways to like utilize an advantage as a fake out, since honestly, maybe Rachel in your season where she used the shot in the dark to gauge what everyone thought.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
It was it's amazing.
And actually in that moment, do you think that actually like helped her in the moment in particular? Because you were there,
Yeah, it definitely helped her. And yes, it helped her.
Okay, well,
Okay.
solid, good. Because this idol at Tribal Council, I think it was Winners at War, Adam. There was a belief that he thought maybe there was an idol on the podium, which would have been really cool.
Oh, I remember that. He went and looked or something, right?
Yeah, he went up to because there was a little symbol. It was like it's like a French thing. I forget what it is, but it was right on the podium. And I don't blame him at all for thinking it could be an idol. I mean, it's Winners at War.
Yeah.
Why not? Put an idol at the podium. That's very Jeff coded to say, like, we'll just put it in plain sight. No one see if they try. But he did it and it didn't work. And now it still hasn't happened to this day. But now Christian and Devins have come up with a pretty devilish plan to put it in plain sight.
I can't wait to see that. I can't wait. It's
And
going to be so good.
doesn't it add like another fun layer to know that at every tribal council Devins or Christian attend, that there's a potential that they can blow the whole thing up and scare everyone.
Especially if they think they're coming after somebody's coming after them, right? Especially if they think that. So, oh, it's going to be so good.
Absolutely. I'm also really glad that it is happening on a returner season, because I think, and I really want your input on this one, being a part of, a newbie season, of course. I think in a newbie season, I imagine people immediately would fall apart, like the plan would fall apart, and they would figure out anything else than what the original plan was to vote out like Christian or something. But in a returner season, I think there's a chance that some of these people like Coach would say, I'm going to call your bluff.
Oh, you think so?
I think there's a chance, more of a chance than in a new season. What do you think?
Well, see, for us, a lot of times we had plan A and plan B. So, and that's exactly what happened when we had Rachel was with all of Tuku. Rachel was plan A to vote out, and then Tiana was plan B. So we didn't even have to talk. We knew that once Rachel, was free, and Saul sent her the award, or the whatever it was, to send her back to the island. She was free.
Yeah. The safety without power.
We all knew Tiana was next. So if something like that showed up at tribal, I don't know, I guess, but if you find a fake idol, are you gonna play it right then and there?
Well, I think you would, but they don't know you're going to play it or not until the votes are cast. So you would think, I'm sure they would find it before the votes are cast, like find it,
Yeah.
So I think it could potentially blow things up in a pretty incredible way. And like, you could have your alternate plan, but I don't know. It's asking a lot.
But if you're saying, if Coach were to call him out on it, what do you mean? Coach would say
what I mean is, like,
you think he would just say that's fake?
No. I guess, well, it'd be nice if he did. That'd be cool. If Coach was able to determine that it was probably a fake in, like, right away, then you know what? Any bad thing I've ever said about Coach strategically, I forgive. I hope I'm forgiven, because that would be incredible. But I guess what I mean is, like, if they have them dead to rights, and Christian just pulls out this idol at tribal and basically makes a show of it, because it's only going to work if you make a show of it, of course. I wonder if Coach is going to be like a Coach or someone else. It could be anyone else. There's a lot of great players on this season. Like D could do it. Say, like, I don't know if I believe that. Let's just stick with what we were doing, because I think they're making a big show of it. So because no matter what, whether it's real or not, I don't think they're going to play it. So let's just do it.
Right. I think so do you think, though, that they're going to intentionally find it in front of everybody, or they're just going to sneak and grab it? What do you think is going to happen?
Oh, I think they're going to make a show of it. I think they're going to go. I think Devins is going to be like, I don't know who's going to be, Devins or Christian, but probably Devins.
She'd probably fall again and grab it.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
I think Devins going to go like, oh, Jeff, you left one of these at tribal?
Yeah.
Like, what? Oh my God, I can't believe it. And
then they say that they found a beware advantage, and it told them to search at tribal. Like, that's what I would do.
That's true.
Right? You could say, I have a beware advantage that told me to search here, search in the fire, by the rocks.
You're right. And it's so funny because, like, depending on how it goes, because I guess at some point Jimmy Fallon's going to have something in the game. Because in the previous, for season 50, they're like, oh, it's the Jimmy Fallon whatever advantage or something. I don't know. But, like, because everything's so branded, they could say, like, literally anything, and it's believable because it's season 50. It's like, oh, I found the George Clooney.
Pull out your favorite singer and label it your favorite singers. Fleetwood Mac.
Looks like Zach Brown left us another reward, actually, that you all know about.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's gonna be so funny. I can't wait. Honestly, this has been such an exciting, fun season, for what we've seen, and we haven't even seen everybody playing yet.
Absolutely. I think it's been incredible. I can't wait to see more. And you know, it's so sad. There's a million things to talk about, unfortunately, but I
Yeah.
guess we can't do all that right now because we're already a little bit over
Okay.
with Sue here. I mean, I could talk forever, but it's probably best we try to link up a little later in the season, maybe to chat a little
Yeah,
bit more.
absolutely. I would
Oh my
love to.
gosh.
I
That'd be great. There's a million things to talk about, but
Yeah.
in the meantime, and we also didn't really talk about Beast Games too much because I know Sue
Oh,
just mentioned it and said like, "Hey, I hate to talk about." No, absolutely. Sue was on Beast Games,
yeah.
which is a big deal, and there's a big crossover. Mr. Beast is going to come up at some point. We
And
don't
you saw my crossover doing a Survivor challenge, right? Did you see it?
Sure did because you know, so I'm a big buff collector, Survivor buff collector, and it's like a big deal because I saw the Beast Games buffs, and
Oh,
it's
you
like
did?
it's such a big. Oh, I thought that was the coolest thing having the crossover.
You want to see my
And
book?
oh
Want
yeah, pop that baby out. Let's see that. Which one did you end up? Oh, the pink one. Okay. Oh, that's a beauty. I mean, for a crossover and an unofficial, it's pretty beautiful.
Pretty crazy, right?
Those are rare commodities, Sue.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm
like,
lucky, very lucky.
yeah, oh, absolutely. I mean, and yeah, for those, I mean, without going to spoilers too much about Beast Games, yeah, like Sue eventually ended up going out on a note that was it was a pretty rough one to watch initially.
Yeah.
As you can see, Sue's doing well though, ever since
Survived.
that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
survived. It's okay.
That was a tough one. It was some scoundrels in Beast Games on par with
Yeah.
Survivor.
Yeah. And you know what? Like, again, it's a game, and he won fair and square. It's not like he broke any rules, so I have to suck that up and suck it up. But
Absolutely.
I'm okay.
You just happen to, you punch a body bag, thinking of him every once in a while. No
Oh
big
yeah.
deal.
Oh yeah. Punch and
No big
kick. Yes.
I love that. I mean, but it's an amazing time, and Sue's got such great insight on Survivor. It's really helpful for me. I love going back and forth a little bit. So having Sue here today, I appreciate it so much, and I can't wait till we talk about season 50.
I love that you have me here. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, it's wonderful. So thank you all. Appreciated for listening. Hopefully you all have an amazing rest of your day. You take care, everyone.
Bye. See you later.
Thank you.